To cut the flagon, I'm using 6.5 yards of fabric, and the type of fabric I'm using is light Duchess. I'm using light Duchess, 6.5 yards. You can use less or even more, but I'm using 6.5. For the sleeves, I'm using 1.5 yards for the sleeves. So the body is going to be 5 yards, and I cut the 5 yards into 2 equal halves, which I am going to be laying on top of each other like so. Let me show you. After you lay it flat like this, okay, take one end and cross it like this to form a triangle. Here I have my fabric laid down, and I will just be doing something like this to form a triangle. After folding it into a triangle, as you can see, I'm going to start imputing my measurements now. First, we have to determine the shoulder, where we can find the shoulder measurement. The shoulder is 16 inches, divided by 2 is 8 inches. So I'm going to determine where I can have 8 inches here, and it's this place, here to here. So I'm just going to hold that. After determining the shoulder, let me just cut this out. This is the shoulder line. After I cut out the shoulder, I'm going to come here and mark my armhole. The armhole is 18 inches, divided by 2 is 9 inches. So on this 9 inches for the armhole, I'm going to transfer this shoulder measurement that I have here. I'm going to take it here, which is 8 inches. So I'm just going to mark 8 inches here. For the shoulder, I'm transferring it to this armhole line. I'm just going to be connecting these to this place. The chest line and the shoulder line, marking a straight line. As you can see, this is the chest line. This is going to be the armhole line. I'm going to impute my bust measurement. The bust measurement is 40, divided by 4 is 10 inches. Because this is a free dress, so I'll be adding extra 3 inches to it, including the seam allowance. That will be 13 inches. Connecting this 13 inches with your armhole, first you have to come here for shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. And you're going to determine the midpoint here, which is 4 inches, and just connect like this. For the armhole, that is it. Now we have determined the shoulder slope. We're going to mark the neck that you want. For this is going to be a turtleneck, so it's going to be 3 inches wide, and the front is going to be 3 inches. The front is going to be 3 inches as well, while the back is going to be just 1.5 inches. So we'll be connecting these. So this is the neckline. I'm just going to be connecting this shoulder slope to this neckline. And here we have it. This is for the back. This is for the back neck, and this is for the front. The front is always deeper. It's 3 inches, and for the back is 1.5 inches. This is the shoulder slope, the bust measurement, and of course, this is the armhole. From here now, I'm just going to be marking all the way down to determine the length of this gown. The length of this gown is 55 inches plus extra 2 inches for the hem allowance. I'll be making it 57 inches. So from here, we're going to mark 57 inches down. This is a closer view before I cut it out. I'll be cutting this neck, then the armhole, I'm going to cut it like this. Then for the shoulder slope, I'm going to cut the neck. I'm just going to cut it from here all the way to that place to have the full gown. Now to cut the sleeves. This sleeves is one of the easiest things that you can do. This is the 1.5 yard that I'm using for the sleeves. I divided it into two, although it's 20 inches by length. The full length of these sleeves is 23 inches, but it's going to have a band somewhere here, and that band is going to be 4 inches. This fullness, this gather is going to be 19 inches. So the band is going to be 4 inches. The fullness is 19 inches. I mean, the ruffle part is going to be 19 inches plus extra 1 inch for the joining allowance is 20 inches. And I just cut 20 inches here. I have 20 inches here by 2. So into 2. The wideness is 1.5 inch. Sorry, the wideness is 1.5 yards that I said earlier. This is 1.5 yards in wideness, but the length is just 20 inches. So you're just going to be gathering this into your armhole. You gather it like this. You gather it like this to your armhole, and you gather this place too. You gather this place as well into the band that is going to be on the wrist. So you gather this place to your armhole, and you gather this place to the wrist. So you're going to have something full and in the middle. That's for the two sleeves. For the band, which is 4 inches plus 1 inch joining allowance, is going to be 5 inches. So I'm cutting this on fold, 5 inches on fold. 4 inches for the band and 1 inch seam allowance is going to be 5 inches. So I have 5 inches here. The length of the measurement of the wrist is 9 inches. The wrist measurement is 9 inches. I'll be adding extra 1 inch for the joining allowance as well. That's going to be 10 inches for the wrist measurement. This is for the band. So 10 inches. I'm just going to cut that 10 inches out. Placing it on another one and cut out another 10 inches. That is going to be for the two bands. So after I cut both the front and back pieces together, I just place them on each other and I stitch the shoulders together. Here the front is always lower than the back because it's turtleneck. So at the back, for the back piece, you're just going to determine the middle and just come down by 4 inches. That is where the button is going to be. This is 4 inches for the buttonhole. For the turtleneck, you're going to take the measurement of the neck around. This is 21 inches. So the turtleneck is going to be 21 inches by length and 2.5 inches for the wideness. The half inch on it is just for the joining allowance. So the normal measurement for the turtleneck or the high neck is 2 inches by 21 inches for the length. And for the sleeves, I did one side already. I just pleated it all round. I did the same thing for the band too, and I closed it all round. I'll be showing you what I did here on this place, on this side. So this is one of the pieces that I cut out that I showed you earlier. I'm just going to be determining the midpoint of this sleeve. You notch, you place the midpoint on place the midpoint between the shoulders. Where you join the shoulder up, that's going to be the midpoint of your shoulder. So place where you notch on your sleeve there. Place it like this. You can start pleating from here as well. Just make a pleat like this. Right side facing each other, then pin it. You can just take it to your sewing machine and start stitching. I prefer pinning before I take it to the sewing machine. You just start pleating like that. So you pleat that all around. You pleat these entire sleeves on this armhole. You pleat it. You continue to pleat till you consume all this material. You do the same for the other side. Likewise, the band as well. You come here and determine the midpoint. Notch. The reason why you're doing this is because you don't want one side to be fuller than the other. You come here as well and determine the midpoint. So, okay, this is the midpoint. You place the midpoint of this here. Use your pin to hold it. Okay, and you start to pleat or gather. So the reason why you're determining the midpoint of both sleeves is so that you can have the same volume here and here, but make sure you place this one really big so it can accommodate all these fabrics. You do the same thing for this side as well and you stitch it. After then, you close it all the way down, which is what I did for this place. Let me show you on the right side. So this is what I did here. You can see I pleat this into this band and I pleat this place into the sleeves as well. So these are sleeve and I close it all the way down. What remains is to complete the second sleeves and to add the turtleneck on the neck and also to fix the button. This is the result after I joined all the pieces together. Look at the sleeves, it's really full and it's really beautiful. It's worth giving it fire. Look at the both sleeves. I also closed the sides as well on both sides, and I fixed the turtleneck. I fixed the button as well. So now look at what we have on the neck. It's a relaxed turtleneck. I overlock the down part as well. You can hem it if you don't have overlock machine, but I overlock mine. And this is the end of today's video. If you find it helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you.